My name is Stevon. I'm originally from the Bahamas. I've been in the States for the past 11 years. When I came here, I studied accounting at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I recently graduated with a Master's in Business Administration from Harvard Business School. So I applied to 3 schools in round 1, HBS, Stanford, and Wharton, and I was accepted into HBS. I think, when business schools think about who they want to admit into the program, they look for a number of things. I think, one, they want to see some type of diversity. They want to see students who are very driven and who can exhibit leadership skills. I think the way that I differentiated myself was I really tried to show what my true passions were. I think I thought a lot about who I am as a person, what makes me Stevon, and I think once you're true to yourself and you actually broadcast and do a really deep thinking of what your weaknesses and your strengths are, it will be a great way to separate yourself. So prior to business school, I spent the first 2 years of my career in New York working for the International Investment Bank in their industrials group. And then I moved to a private equity / investing fund in Washington, D.C., investing in renewable energy markets. I'm currently working as a venture capitalist in Washington, D.C. When I was thinking about business school, I thought a lot about what school would give me international exposure and a network that could surpass the United States. And so all the schools that I looked at, one, they had a very large network outside of the US. I think they also had a very international cohort. And I think the third thing that was really exciting to me was a business school that had a really strong foundation or focus on emerging markets and starting your own business. When applying to business school, I only considered American schools, but I think that there are great schools around the world, and you need to be very conscious on what your end goals are before you decide on your geography. I think, firstly, when I was thinking about US schools, it came down to ranking. I think some of the best ranked schools are based in the US and the UK and other parts of Europe. So that's the number one reason behind picking a US school. Secondly, I think most of the mentors that I had that went to business school, they graduated from US-based institutions. So in preparing for business school, one book that was a gold mine for me was called How to Get into Top MBA Programs. I think that it was really well written and it gave a really good idea of step-by-step what students should do in thinking about how to apply for schools. I think it's also very important to reach out to your network and try to figure out which of your friends or co-workers went to the schools that you're targeting to get inside information as well. I did do this. Yeah, I think some of the best advice that I got from friends and colleagues that went to business schools really related to what's the true culture of the institution. I think there are a number of great schools in the world, but not all schools are the best fit for different types of people. I think by far the 2 best parts of the application are, one, your essays, and secondly, your letters of recommendation. I think your essays are extremely important because it's one of the few parts of the process where you're truly able to show who you are as a person and to differentiate yourself from the crowd. And I think secondly, the letters of recommendation are also very important because it's a tool of validation from an external source. So all of my letters of recommendation came from previous bosses that I had from business school. I think it's very important to not only look for people who are senior or who may have went to your school of choice, but also people who know you very well and can speak to your strengths and weaknesses. So in writing my essay, I received really good advice in terms of limiting the number of reviewers that I had. And I think that's very important because it's very hard to become clouded by the judgment of numerous people. And so if you stick with 2 or 3 reviewers, one person who's probably checking for grammar, another person who is checking to make sure that your essay truly speaks to who you are and your character, I think that's some of the best advice I can get for your essay writing preparation. So when I was accepted into my business school, I was very fortunate to receive funding from HBS. I think we have a very generous program that is not based on merit, but it's based on your actual financial need. I also received funding from my country, the Bahamas, and I think it's very good because if you do apply and get accepted into a good business school, there are a plethora of different options. The World Bank has a number of scholarship opportunities for international students. Also, there are opportunities for different minority students in the US as well. So in the case of Harvard Business School, I would say about 80% of the students actually live on campus, either in specific dormitories that are made for the MBA students or in on-campus apartments. I think that there are many benefits to getting an MBA. I think obviously people would like to go and enroll in the best school possible, but in the event that they're unable to enroll in a top 5 or top 10 school, I think there are various other options that can be taken. I think if you do decide to go to a lower ranked institution, they'll probably find one where that school may be very strong in a particular sector you're interested in, or may be focused on different geographic preference that you may have. The great part about studying at a top university in the US or Europe is that you have global opportunities. And so in the event that you are unable to obtain a job offer in a US-based institution, I still think that it's possible to either one, return to your home country and be able to work at a top institution there. I think secondly, irrespective of what happens with the H-1B visas, there will always be opportunities for talented students in the US. While I was going through my process of deciding on where I wanted to go post-business school, I really focused on venture investing funds as well as different startups. And I think one of the major conceptions of business school is for international students, you're kind of relegated to working for a big bank or a consulting firm. And while this may be true because it's easier to get an H-1B visa, I think it could be difficult to achieve a H-1B visa for certain institutions. While large banks and consulting firms, it may be easier to get a visa with them. I do think that it's a little bit harder if you want to go a little bit more niche market or work for a smaller company. However, that being said, I do have some friends that work for startups in Silicon Valley or for smaller investment funds that have been able to get an H-1B visa to work in the US. I think when deciding on what discipline you want to focus on, it really depends on what your end goal is. I think if you want to be super hyper-focused on, coding or working in an IT department, then sure, getting a degree in analytics would be much more beneficial than an MBA. But I think if you really want to focus on how to be a leader, how to develop general management skills, how to go in and solve world problems and business problems as well, then getting an MBA would definitely be a good start. And having to do it all over again, I would definitely decide to do an MBA. My biggest advice to applicants to MBA programs: 1, plan early. 2, stay focused on what you want to do after business school and try to find a MBA program that will best align with that mission. And thirdly, I would tell students to apply to a wide range of schools. Maybe you would be unfortunate not get into your number 1, number 2, or number 3 schools, but there's so many great institutions in the US and Europe that will probably still be able to take you to your end goal in life. If you have any more questions, please visit afriendabroad.com.